Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got back from IMAX after seeing Dungeons and Dragons. This is a 2023 film, and I have to preface this review, I feel like. I want to be responsible and say that I am not a Dungeons and Dragons person at all. I know nothing about it as far as what goes into playing this game. I know it's been around forever. I know that people love it. I know that even famous people seem to have their own D&D activities and secret meetings, and I know it's a whole thing. I just never care to get into it myself. And I went into this movie not really expecting much. I did see before I saw it that the Rotten Tomato scores was like in the 90s. At least critics are very high on this film. I don't know what like D&D fans think of it or what a mainstream audience thinks of it. I'm going to say first things first. I had fun with the movie. I did. I didn't love it like maybe some other critics did, but I definitely didn't dislike it or hate it either. I had fun with it. I did. This was directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. That's a name that I haven't heard in a while. And the movie stars Chris Pine. And let me just say this. Chris Pine is a movie star. And I know some people are like, well, of course. He starred in a bunch of movies. Star Trek and maybe the Wonder Woman movie. Well, I guess that's more Gal Gadot. But still, you look at him, he's a movie star. He's good looking, he's charming, he's witty, and I think he brings all of that to this film. I only wanted to mention it because I feel like it's been a while since he was the star in a big blockbuster type film. And so I appreciated seeing Chris Pine just do his stuff, do his magic. If this was a lesser actor, I think this would have been a thankless, I don't care about this character at all, or this character is kind of written to be unlikable, but because he himself is likable, you're able to go along for the ride. Michelle Rodriguez is his partner, his badass friend that's very capable, and there's so many scenes where he's like, oh, shit, I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna go do this first because she is very hands-on, very badass, and very believable. So you're here for it. I'm always here to see Michelle Rodriguez, even if it feels like she's always playing the same character over and over again. I do not get sick of seeing her be a badass. Sophia Lillis, this is an actress that I remember seeing in the It movies, and I've been curious to see what she would do next. I know she's done a couple other things, but this is the first thing I've seen, and I thought she was great. You know, I wish maybe she even got a little more to do character-wise, but I thought the moments that she got, the fact that her character was a shapeshifter, I found all that to be very cool. Justice Smith, I don't really care for Justice Smith. Like, in general, everything I've seen him in, whether it was Detective Pikachu or the Jurassic World movies, I find him to be quite annoying. This movie, I wasn't as annoyed with him. When he first popped up on screen, I rolled my eyes and said, alright, well, here we go. I have to deal with it. But he wasn't that bad. So that's a plus. There is another badass character that sadly is not in the movie enough. He shows up for a couple of scenes. It's Gene Page. I don't know if I said that right, but it's a guy that when you watch the movie, you'll see this guy. He's very good looking. He's very dry wit. You know, he doesn't get sarcasm. The character was interesting. Again, I wish we got more of him. Hugh Grant plays kind of the villain, and Hugh Grant is just in a thankless role that really doesn't have a whole lot of depth to it at all and just is there just to be the bad guy. Hugh Grant brought a lot of his own quirks, his own personality, and he made the character his own, so I appreciated that. There is a bigger bad, though, Sophina, played by Daisy Head, who is like behind Hugh Grant pulling the strings, and that character was fairly generic, fairly one note, but it's not the archetypes. It's not the main stuff that I just mentioned that's going to probably get you to have a good time. I was impressed that for a property like D&D, for what I have seen of this property, for how Hollywood has treated this property in the past, and I'm just an outsider. I'm just somebody that's observed this. I can only imagine what, if you're a fan of this, what watching a movie like this, watching Hollywood put in a decent budget into this, make it a big action film. There is some good action. Some of the CGI, there's moments where it's wonky, and then there's other times where it's like, okay, that looks pretty good. For a movie called Dungeons and Dragons, though, there's only one dragon, and the one dragon is like fat, which is kind of funny, but I always think that, man, Game of Thrones is like the only property that's able to have good-looking dragons in live action. Although the Hobbit dragon, Smaug, was pretty decent looking as well. This movie, though, I had fun. I did. There was some jokes that didn't really work, and then there was other jokes that made me laugh quite hard. And I was never bored. It's over 2 hours long, and I never really sat there going, oh, you know, when am I going to get out of here? It's hard to judge it on that action level or my enjoyment of it, because I did just see John Wick 4 last week, and that I was at an all-time high after that, and it's still going to take me a while to come down from having that much fun in the theater. But I think if you're somebody that's looking maybe for a family film, or if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, you're probably going to love this movie. Probably love it more than I did. Personally, I'm going to give this movie a good date movie. So guys, let me know in the comments below, if you are a D&D fan, what do you think of the property? What do you think of this movie being made? Does this live up to your expectations? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!